All right, well, Bulletinman joins you on this Wednesday night. It's the 27th day of July. Hang in there. Hope you can see me. All right. Excuse the lighting. Excuse also the crookedness of the camera. But it's kind of crooked, just like Crawford County or any county that you go to. I just wanted to make a real brief video. I've done a couple of these already, tried it, and they're just too long. I got to keep these videos under 5 minutes, or just no one looks at them. You got a serious problem in Crawford County. You get a call Monday morning from a good friend of a gentleman who, 74-year-old gentleman who was tased Monday morning because his daughter called the law and said he was despondent. Now, keep in mind, this guy lost his wife three months ago, but the daughter has a boyfriend. Boyfriend and Pops don't get along very good. Boyfriend is living in Pop's house, another one of his houses. The daughter leaves a note to the dad and says, "Hey, man, so and so is not going to come around if you're here." So Pops leaves, goes home. Daughter calls the law. Says, "Oh, he's despondent. He's going to kill himself." So the sheriff's department decides to go out there and raid the guy. This happened Sunday night in Crawford County on a Highway PP. Fine folks at the Missouri Highway Patrol closed both ends of the road. They showed up at this guy's door in his property about 8 o'clock and waited for more deputies to show up. I went out and talked to him, and he told me about it. He hung around for about 20 minutes. And they proceeded to get on a loudspeaker and tell him to come out. Get your hands up. So he does what they tell him to do, and he walks out in his underwear. That's what he tells me. And as soon as he walks out on the porch, the fine officers of the Crawford County Sheriff's Department tased the old man, 74-year-old gentleman. Put 2 tasers in him. They got an ambulance there waiting for him. They're considerate enough to bring the ambulance along. And they put him down on the ground, handcuff him like he's a criminal, and proceed to go into his house. They go right to the attic where the weapons are kept. He's got about 17 or 18 legal, lawful guns. And all based on a phone call that a family member made saying that he was despondent. As opposed to the sheriff actually calling up or a deputy calling up the gentleman, or actually just knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, man, we understand you're despondent." They decide to send a whole SWAT team, for lack of a better term, down here in Crawford County. I don't know if you want to call it a SWAT team. How about a posse or whatever? But that's just one. I bet you I got 100 phone calls since all this broke. I started running ads down here in the paper. And probably about 50 of them are serious concerns. There's a few phone calls that, just weren't, as serious as these. And I would say about 15 or 20% of them are real concerns. Blatant violations of the Constitution. Sheriff Martin and all your fine officers, Coleman, Satterfield, Schaffenberg, or whatever. Excuse me, little kitty. I have one of the little kitties here in my way. I have notes. I've been taking notes, trying to keep up with all this, man. It's a horror show. It really is. Schaffenberg, badge number 722. Coleman, maybe, and Frank Williams, and of course you, Deputy Satterfield, as well. You are really popping up on the list a lot. Gentlemen, you all take an oath to uphold the Constitution. Everyone who participated in this incident on the 25th day of July, or the 24th day of July, at 2100 hours, you broke your oath to the Constitution. You terrorized the 74-year-old man. You closed the state highway down, or the Highway Patrol did. You forbid his neighbor from coming up to see what was going on. That's terrorism, as far as I'm concerned. There's a federal lawsuit that's been filed against the city of Cuba and the Drug Task Force and members of the Sheriff's Department. That I know, one that I can cite right now. There's others pending and more in the works. About 10% of these cases are related to confiscation of guns without charges, without court orders. The Constitution of the state of Missouri, which you all swear an oath to uphold, specifically prohibits your behavior. And I'm here to tell you, and I'll be in Steelville to tell you on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, that these acts are not going to be put up with. Sheriff Martin, you need to resign your office. You need to quit. And all your officers need to resign as well. They need to be fired. Are there any good cops? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't heard of any of them yet. I would pray that there are at least one or two. Matter of fact, I take that back. I understand there is one good cop. And it's a she. But I'm just here to tell you folks that this terrorism's going to stop. This country has got a constitution. You have all taken an oath to uphold that constitution. We expect you to uphold that constitution. You will uphold that constitution or you won't work. You won't work for the citizens of Crawford County or state of Missouri anymore. So, I'm a minute over. I said I had to keep it at 5. I'm going to let you go for now. I'll tell you next time about the story of me getting removed from the Raintree store across from Raintree on Highway B on Monday. When I was getting the call about Mr. Weber, that I was also getting kicked out of the Raintree store. And I also have to say that I went by John's the other day, and John's back in business and doing, I mean, he never was out of business, but John's business has recovered quite nicely, and he wanted to thank all of his loyal customers for having a heart. We'll see you guys. Have a great day. Me and I think this is Oreo. Say goodbye to you. God bless you. And God bless America. And pray for your fine folks in law enforcement, would you? Pray for me, too. I need it.